Do you know that most business owners who are running Facebook ads are making the same common ad mistakes? It's no secret that when you start to run Facebook ads, there's a huge learning curve that comes into play. But most business owners think that they can just troubleshoot their way out of it without really understanding what is at the root cause of their ad issues. In this video, we're going to dive into the most common ad mistakes and how you can fix them. My name is Kelly Sturdivant. I'm a Facebook ad strategist, and I help business owners learn and understand how Facebook ads can help them grow and scale their converting offers with the help of Facebook ads. As we get started, be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can stay up to date on all things Facebook advertising, as well as like this video and give us a comment below. Are you currently running ads for your business? I often speak to a lot of business owners that are struggling to understand why their ads aren't working the way they were expecting them to and how to actually fix them. The truth is that I often see the same mistakes being done across the board for advertising. So let's dive into the most common ad mistakes that business owners are making without them actually realizing it. Number one, not understanding the terms and services of running Facebook ads. Now, this may seem pretty basic, but you'd be surprised at how many business owners just start running Facebook ads without any indication or acceptance of what their terms and restrictions are in advertising. We don't actually own our Facebook pages. In fact, we're buying or renting space from them when we use Facebook advertising. So we have to actually follow the rules that Facebook has in place in order to keep not only advertisers safe, but their community at large safe. So the first thing you want to make sure you understand is the terms and services that you have for running Facebook ads and whether you're actually following them to the T. A lot of times this is happening first when businesses start getting their ads rejected and they're being flagged for things that they're like, I don't even know what that is. Like, I'm not an MLM, or I'm not trying to make money off of people, or whatever the flag may be. But the reason why this is happening is that you are maybe using language in your ad copy that you don't realize could be breaking those terms and policies that are set in place. Things like language, personal attributions, so you can't call to people's flaws in a Facebook ad. This is actually a big one that people miss when it comes to writing their ad copy. You can't say things like, do you want to get rid of that mole on your face? Or are you wanting to lose 10 pounds? These are things that Facebook just won't allow you to run ads to. So it's understanding what those implications are if you do run ads with those types of wording in it. And one of the biggest ones that advertisers use are before and after images. This is a big no-no with Facebook ads. You can't use before and after images because, again, it calls to someone's flaws and how they would be better if they did X, Y, and Z. And Facebook just doesn't allow that. So you really need to understand the policies and ensure that you are following them correctly to keep your ads safe. Now, there are times when Facebook will reject your ads and you haven't broken the terms and services. Facebook's system is pretty robust, but it can be pretty basic at the same time. And a lot of times the first line of approval on a Facebook ad is an AI system. So they have specific words in their entire repertoire where if you have that in your ad, it can get flagged immediately and requires a secondary approval. Now, a lot of people don't realize that even though a ad was rejected, you actually can appeal those ads with Facebook. The first thing to do is go into your ad manager, and where you see that rejection, you'll get a little button that says appeal or request review. This sends it back into Facebook's system for a secondary look. Now, if everything is good to go in that change there, your ad will be approved and everything is fine. If it gets rejected a second time and you still know that you are following the terms and services, there's nothing glaringly obvious to you that is in the wrong, you can go ahead and appeal and speak to a Facebook ad rep through their chat support. Way to do this is going to Facebook's website at facebook.com/business/help. There'll be a button at the bottom saying get started, and then follow the prompts to go and be able to speak to someone on Facebook's team through Messenger. The next ad mistake business owners are making are they're speaking to the wrong audience. It's no secret everyone wants to sell to everyone who wants to buy their products and services, but we really can't run our ads to everyone. Our messaging for someone at the age of 65 is going to be very different than our messaging for someone who's, say, 23. So you can't just blanket everyone in the same box and hope you're going to see conversions happen. So you really need to get specific on who your audience demographic is and where they are online. What are their likes, their dislikes? Who are they following? What brands do they like? These are ways that can help you refine that audience so that the majority of your audience is within that demographic that is going to convert to sales for you. Now, you can test many audiences, just split them up into different audience demographic. So you could have an audience that is that younger demographic, 18 to 25, and maybe another one 35 to 55 if you do speak across the board. But you don't want to lump everyone together because it will really hinder the messaging that you can write in your ads in order to speak to those people. So be very specific onto your audiences. Don't make them too broad and don't make them too narrow either. This also goes for your custom audiences. Now, you can build custom audiences as little as 100 people. That means 100 emails or 100 Facebook likes or 100 people on Instagram, but it's not the best practice to do that. Generally speaking, you want to have at least 1,000 custom people on any given list or platform in order to build a better audience for it. Now, keep in mind, again, we've lost a lot of data with the iOS changes, so automatically we could reduce our size by 50 right there. And then we know that especially things like emails or people on Facebook, they're not necessarily using the same emails across all platforms or all channels. So just because you have someone's email that they've opted into your email list, that may not be the same email that they're using to sign into Facebook. So again, we're going to lose some people on that list as well. So the bigger that list is, the better chance Facebook has of being able to match up the right people. So again, with 1,000 people, even if you lose half of your audience, you're still working with about 500, which allows you to build a decent audience. But if you were using 100, now you're down to 50 and it's near impossible to get in front of even those 50 people. So the bigger the custom audiences, the better off you're going to be, not only getting in front of them, but to be able to reach those lookalike audiences that are built out of those. The next one is using the wrong objective. The biggest objective change that business owners end up using that they shouldn't be using is a traffic campaign instead of a conversion campaign. It just comes down to business owners not understanding the difference between a traffic ad and a conversion ad. They think, well, if I'm sending traffic to my website, traffic is what is going to make those conversions happen. But the truth of the matter is the conversion is what helps you to make those purchases or get people to sign up to your list or join your webinar. So making a switch to a conversion ad, again, making sure you have your Facebook Pixel installed or your conversion AIs installed will allow you to be able to see those actions happening after they've taken action. So they've opted into your email list. Once they reach that thank you page, you have a specific line of code on that allows Facebook to say, hey, this is the action we've taken and we have now a cost associated with that. There's nothing wrong with a traffic ad. They're a great way to help build an audience and pixel data on your site, but it's not the best way to especially make sales or conversions on your site. So really understanding the objectives that Facebook has for you in the campaigns and how they're best going to be suited for your business is going to help you to create better ads and get out of those ad mistakes that everyone else is making. Now, this next one is one that a lot of businesses don't realize they're making until it's pointed out to them, and that's budget. When it comes to budget, you have to have a realistic expectation of not only what budget you have, but what your budget can actually do for your business. You need to know what your LTV is, your lifetime value of a customer, or you need to learn what your cost per lead is or cost per result is. These numbers help you to indicate, well, if I bring someone into my business and they go on to spend $500 in the lifetime that they're with me, then it helps you to determine whether you want to spend, $100 to make that $500 lifetime. or whether you can get them for $250 and it still makes sense for your business. The same goes for your cost per result or cost per lead. If it's costing you $5 to get someone onto your email list, and you know that your email list can help you generate thousands of dollars in organic traffic sales, then it might make sense to make that $5 cost per lead to get someone into your list. So really understanding what your metrics are ahead of time can help you to determine whether your budget is working. If it's costing you $5 a lead or $5 an email and you're only spending $5 a day on ads, then it would be safe to assume you should be seeing one new person join your email list every day, give or take. If you know that the average spend someone has with you is $500 and you're spending $100 to make that $500, does that make sense for your business? And does that mean going forward, you would want to continue doing that? If your products are over about $197, it may not be realistic to run direct to sale. This means having to adjust how you set up those ads. Maybe you need to send them to a lead magnet, get them on your list and make organic purchases for those higher ticket products. Or maybe you need to build an audience at first and then retarget them with the sale of those products and services afterwards. The higher the price point on these, the harder it is to kind of sell directly in an ad. So for instance, if you have high ticket coaching programs or masterminds, it doesn't make sense to send people to a $5,000 sales page. This may mean you need to send people to an application page or a scheduler where they can speak to your sales team to make that sale afterwards. So really understanding what those end results are and how your ads are going to help you get in front of them with your budget can ultimately help you determine what your budget should be and if it's realistic to your business. And finally, if you don't have a warm audience and you are just looking to test whether things are working for you, then you have to keep in mind your budget is simply to see what's working or not working in your business. So be willing to invest that money into data in order to determine what needs to be adjusted. Think of it as going to Las Vegas. You're going to throw the money on the craps table knowing chances are you're walking away empty-handed. That's what you're doing with your Facebook ads and your budget. You're putting money on the table to see what's working or not working, and you're collecting data back in order to make those changes. So be willing to spend whatever money it is that you're comfortable spending that makes sense for your business going forward. And finally, the last one that business owners often make mistakes on and they don't realize it is they're not testing their offers organically. Now, if you have a warm audience, you've built up an email list or you have a following on social media, you want to sell to these people first. They're already warm to you. They've probably already bought from you in the past. They're more likely to make any conversion to sale before anyone cold does. So any new product or service that you have, you really want to put it out to your organic or your warm audiences first to see if it converts. If it does, that's a good indication that you could see sales when you try it for a colder audience. But if it doesn't, then no amount of running Facebook ads to it is going to help it convert, especially if it's not converting to a warm audience. So be willing to test organically and tweak organically first before you ever start running any kind of traffic to it. Now, if you have no audience built and you literally need to build an audience in order to continue running your business, then understand your ads are 100% just to find that audience. So you are testing out your offers by using money behind it. So one is going to allow you to build it with time. The other means you're going to have to use your money to build your audience that way. So have zero expectations of results. I know it's tough, especially if you are hoping to make sales off of it. But honestly, all you're doing is collecting data, and you have to be willing to invest into that data collection in order to make the adjustments to see what's working or not working for you. So those are the most common ad mistakes I see business owners making that they don't realize they're making. And changing any one of these or all of them can help you to improve on your ad conversions and get in front of your audiences a little bit better and maybe with a little less ad spend. Below this video, I have a bunch of resources that can help you along your ad journey. So be sure to check them out and see if they can help you learn a little bit more about Facebook advertising. Once again, we'll see you on the next training. So let's dive into the most really make sense of a lot of